Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now welcome to another episode of Climb to Master. Today we're playing Elise once again and we're doing a POV commentary. You guys seem to enjoy them quite a lot. A lot of you actually said you prefer these over the live commentaries. And by the way, don't worry, these aren't going to take over the channel. For example, we have two POV commentaries back to back. I might spread them out a little bit if I can. But like today on the stream, I think I recorded 3, maybe 4 live commentaries. So plenty of content of different types. POV main account, live commentary main account, challenger spectates. We got a bunch of stuff going on. But anyway, we're playing Elise again. One of my favorite junglers for a long time in League of Legends. We're against a Shaco main. You saw that well, in a second, I think I go over randomly because I'm bored in the loading screen here. I go over everybody's mastery, that you can click on everybody's profile and actually see their mastery points if they have it over a certain amount or something. Maybe if you have it over level 5, maybe it's then visible. I'm not sure how it works, but you can see here. Or level 4, maybe. So I've got 18,000 only on Elise. The Shaker was 578,000. The top laner Darius 410,000. But yeah, I don't really have high mastery in anything. My still to this day highest mastery champion is Mauls, I think, with 110,000 roughly. You know, if mastery was from the beginning of League of Legends, Lee Sin would probably be my highest, and then maybe Rengar. But obviously, I don't play those champs since the mastery system came out, so it doesn't reflect kind of my most played champs. Kinda. But yeah, I kind of wish the mastery system was, I think we all do somewhat. I wish it was a bit more indicative of how good you are at a champion, not just how much you play it, because that's all the mastery system is. You're inevitably going to get mastery 7 the more games you play, and then you're just getting hundreds of thousands of mastery points the more you play it. I kind of wish it was the better you are at a champion. Let me know what you think about it. Like, how would you make mastery better? Would you tie... You can get Mastery 5 at any rank, and then you could get Mastery level 6 if you get to Platinum, Mastery level 7 if you get to Diamond. Would you lock it that way? Because in theory, right, as we all probably would agree, if you're really good at a champion, you're going to inevitably climb, right? The best players on champions are at the highest ratings. So maybe that would be a way of doing it. But we're finally in the game. That actually took quite a while. And what I'm doing here is, I think, I was just checking, by the way, I still have allied chat on. I will just say right now, in today's play session, I think I played 3 or 4 games, got you 3 or 4 live commentaries as well, which is great. The in-game chat did get turned off, so I'm not now using it, but we used it for a good like 5 to 10 games, and I'm gonna just do that every now and then, maybe once a month, turn the chat on, use it for a bit, turn it back off. But I'm gonna do the ward trick here. So you throw the ward on the red, you go back, and you buy yourself your red trinket. The reason being, we're against a Shaco, right? So one, Shaco likes invading reds, but also red trinket is also very effective against Shaco, because if you kind of feel like he's around, red trinket shows his outline. So if you use it, you can actually like see if Shaco is on you. We actually played against another Shaco in a game today. I'm not going to give away what happened, but yeah, just knowing where a Shaco is quite impactful. So the game itself, comp-wise, Darius versus Set in top lane, kind of a, I don't know, standard top lane nowadays. I'm turning music off because we have other music playing. If I'm not mistaken, it's Ghost of Tsushima, the PlayStation game, and hopefully you guys enjoy that music in the background. Again, we're allowed to use that because some people are like, what about copyright? It's video game music, right? That's kind of how you get around it, is if someone is doing a Let's Play of Ghost of Tsushima, they have to be okay to play the music. So obviously Sony, who make Ghost of Tsushima, don't copyright the music for like YouTube or Twitch, so it's good to play while even playing different games. Kind of a smart tip there for you if you wanted that. But yeah, so a standard top lane, Diana versus Twisted Fate. So in theory, in the 1v1 should go into Diana's favor. Assassin versus a vulnerable Twisted Fate, but obviously Twisted Fate could bring more global pressure. Obviously Elise versus Shaco. I think it's a whatever matchup. It's just which jungler can make a bigger impact, I think, most of the time is going to do well here. And then bot lane, Lulu versus Soraka, so very 2 Enchanter-esque supports, and Misfortune versus Caitlyn. Right now, even though like how the meta and that, it's shifting a little bit in AD carry meta because of the buffs and nerfs, Caitlyn does seem to be making a bit of a comeback. Not incredibly convinced Misfortune's great at the moment. She was good, but a lot of the items that Misfortune obviously loved have been nerfed. But Kai'Sa's still around, but she's less dominant than what she was. Jinx does seem to be the AD carry that is really climbing in the old popularity. So you can see me just pinging the Shaco, going, guys, Shaco's going to gank any moment. And look, behold, if you look at the meme map, Diana is getting ganked. It was just inevitable. Like, that's Shaco, right? It's around this time of the game. You sometimes have a feel for it. Meanwhile, Diana gets killed. Gonna go for the Shaco kill, landing a bit of a damage on him. He goes for the... I'm just gonna keep auto-attacking with the red buff and spiderlings. He will survive, and I have an you guys saw there, I got a little bit of vision of where he was. So I'm gonna get the kill just, but Twisted Fate will take me down. Well, you know, Shaco takes me down technically with, I think, red buff maybe. So yeah, Diana dying there was unfortunate. I do believe the Twisted Fate flash queued. It was quite a far away queue, so I think Diana probably could have survived. So I'm going to just point out something here from memory. Again, I played this game last night, so it's still relatively fresh in my mind. I alt-tab here, and I'm just going to show you guys Professor. Dives and dies. So this set, part of his playstyle is he dives. And usually it's not going very well. He usually dies while he's diving and doesn't get a kill. But yeah, he's already diving a Darius at, what, nearly 4 minutes into the game. Luckily for him, he did get the kill in this instance. But, like, that is a risky strategy, you know, going for dives at, like, level 3 or level 4 as a set. Very aggressive playstyle, you could say. So, doing a bit more jungle clearing, thinking about the Scuttle Crab now. So we have Set coming, like, in the general area. The problem that we have is already the Diana hasn't shown incredible, like, priority in mid. It doesn't have, like, matchup priority, which I think she should. I think a Diana should have matchup priority versus a Twisted Fate. But so far, it hasn't equaled that way. I've decided maybe just look for a gank. Because obviously you can see Shaco is hovering. I'm wanting help. So what I want my team to do is I want Diana to walk over. I want Set to come down. And it will probably force like kind of a big fight, but I think we could probably win this fight. So what I decided to do, okay, Set, you're not coming down, you're getting pushed in. Let's just gank Darius. I don't know what Shaco's going to do in this situation, but part of me was like, landing a really good cocoon, by the way. He uses Ghost, and I still get it. So that was pretty big. Shaco in the general area, he queued, and yeah, he's around. But the Scuttle Crab is still in play. The problem that we've got now is I've blown a lot of mana. The Set's now pushed in and lower health. So the Scuttle Crab isn't looking great. We also now don't know where Twisted Fate is either. So I honestly think that and there's Twisted Fate. I should probably give up that Scuttle Crab, and yeah, they've already now got it. I think Twisted Fate may have been doing it while, you know, Shaco came top. Meanwhile, bot lane, 2v1 situation now with the Soraka being dead. I'm making my way, and yes, Lulu gets a double kill. Gonna see what we can do if me and Diana can roam down. Going spider form, because that actually does give increased movement speed. Some people don't realize that, but it does. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can go for a dive. So I go for a flash Q, and unfortunately, it just doesn't do enough damage. But also, where the hell did the Diana go? Like, she was right near me, and I guess she stopped. I don't know exactly what happened there. I actually didn't catch it in the replay either. So that was actually really annoying. So I've lost, arguably I'm about to lose both scuttles because my health bar now, I can't go fight the Shaco, he's at full health. So this is where as a jungler, you can feel it in yourself that you're like, oh, this is so annoying. Because of all these neutral camps and there's Shaco. I think, by the way, he stole that. I think. Maybe he didn't, but I think he may have. He is still in the general area. Soraka's obviously healing me a little bit, which is nice. But you can kind of tell the enemy team is trying to get into the jungle. The Shaco's trying to do the typical Shaco things of assassinate. And yeah, he just got the Scuttle Crab too. So this is the more unhealthy nature of jungling. Yeah, I see I'm typing in the chat, which okay. I do type in the chat to you guys. I don't put it in the actual league chat. That's to you guys to read it, of like kind of my thought process while I'm playing the game. But yeah, no crabs sucks for a jungler. When one jungler gets both, the other one gets none. That's XP lead right there, and there's not a whole lot you can do. Like, that's neutral camps. So I'm going to go for the blue, and this is where I probably should have backed off. But again, I've now got no Scuttle Crabs, and I'm now feeling pressured. So I'm like, I have to get this blue, and lo and behold, the enemy team is setting up a 2 or 3 man gank. So there's 3 people invading me. My team is nowhere to be seen. And this is just the poopy thing of like when you're a jungler and your lanes have zero pressure over their own lane opponents. It's not like if a Shaco's invading me and it's a 1v1, okay, it's a 1v1, fair enough. But when it's the mid laner and the bot laner invading your jungle, that's where it gets a little bit more annoying. But that's just the way it goes. In the bottom right, you will notice I just put on the minimap cover. And now there will be some people complaining about it. It's inevitable. I'm one of the very few content creators and streamers that I don't put minimap covers on all the time. If you watch most pros, most high-rating streamers, they play 24/7 with a map cover. I'm doing it this game because, like, you know, getting invaded several times. It doesn't help a crazy amount when you're jungling because obviously they can see, if they're ghosting, they can see where I am. But at least what it does, if there's a bit of suspicion, all my team's wards are protected. So at least like the enemy team doesn't know where we have vision, and that's kind of a big thing in League of Legends, obviously. I'm going to red trinket, because again, having that little bit of suspicion going, am I getting ghosted? Am I going to be invaded all the time? Just to try and have that extra little layer of protection. But yeah, we'll see how this game goes moving forward. So not the best early game. You know, we were 2 kills. We do still have 2 kills. But dying twice, that's one of the biggest strengths, I'd say, with my gameplay. Meanwhile, Twisted Fate Ultimate, I'm going to go for the Darius at the exact same time. So Twisted Fate's ult in bot lane. I don't know what happens with the Darius, by the way. Like, he just, I guess, didn't notice that I was on my way. Like, he had Twisted Fate Ultimate. They got vision of me, but he just didn't react in time. And then was fighting the set instead of, like, running away. So again, getting a nice assist on him. He seems to be relatively free kills. It's just one of those top laners that just doesn't really ward. I don't know why, but those top laners do exist. They just don't ever ward. Meanwhile, bot lane, unfortunately, is going a bit poop. And meanwhile, while bot lane is going poop, I'm like, okay, at least Diana's getting solo XP. Nope, Diana gets killed by the Shaco in mid. So bot lane, Caitlyn gets a return kill, which is good. So a 1-for-1 in bot lane, but then Diana dying in mid, that's kind of the poop thing here. Yeah, at least if she got more solo XP, a tower plate, that would have been fine. But her dying was not great. I wouldn't have expected Diana to die there. Maybe she was watching the bot lane fight. You know, I don't really know how. I do expect that I would mute this Caitlyn, by the way, because, yeah, that type of typing is just completely obnoxious. Again, it's fine to type if you want to, but doing single letters is just going to get you completely ignored by everybody. I think sometimes, I don't know, there'll definitely be people watching right now that you guys are typers, that you type a lot in chat. I don't know, sometimes made me think of, like, do people realize they get muted quite quick? Like, the whole team could mute this Caitlyn and she'd probably still be typing. And probably doesn't realize that nobody's paying attention. But, yeah, that's probably a lot more common than people think. People just press the mute button kind of quick. Or, again, a lot of people seem to just don't play with chat anymore in League of Legends. But anyway, Diana getting ganked again. You can, well, you actually can't see because I've got a mini-map cover on. But she has no vision. She has 0 vision around mid. So that was a Lulu roaming as well. Unfortunate for us that, yeah, the Diana's just playing arguably too aggressive. She's playing overextending and everything. Going to go for the Lulu, the Twisted Fate kill. Unfortunately for me, though, the shield from Lulu has just saved the Twisted Fate. I'm going to continue going for the kill and Zonia's. So, unfortunately, I do actually take a tower hit. I should be fine. We're actually getting Soraka ulted, which I don't think I needed that to survive. But you can actually see in bot lane, by the way, I think we go have a little look there. My team in bot lane are actually losing in the 2v1. So, Lulu's roaming mid, saves the Twisted Fate, got the kill, the help on Diana, and then somehow, Misfortune is beating my Soraka Caitlyn in a 2v1. So, again, not a great early game. I think the sets, by the way, is doing quite well. He's doing fine. Obviously, we helped him early, got him the... I think I actually got the kill. Yeah, I got the kill up there, but he did get the dive trade as well. So he's playing very aggressive. We've ganked the Darius a couple times, and you can see, boom, gets another solo kill. So top lane's going good. That's right now our saving grace. You know, a powerful set to the enemy team. Meanwhile, again, you can see mid lane, Diana doing the exact same thing. Overextended with no vision, gets ganked for free, dead. It's the same thing. You know, it's the unfortunate thing that is modern day League of Legends is, as harsh as it may sound, there are quite a lot of bad players, even in the higher tiers, that they have one playstyle, and if their playstyle doesn't work, that's where they will feed. They don't adapt. So this Diana's playstyle arguably could be, I'm playing aggressive in mid. I'm going to win, or I'm going to feed. The end. And obviously, there are some games that like this. They're just going to keep feeding because their playstyle isn't working. If, you know, the Diana might be okay in the 1v1, like they're a really good 1v1 player, but the moment that the jungler's like, oh, I can gank that because you're always overextended, they don't adjust their playstyle, boom, they're just going to end up dead 0-4 in this game. So I'm thinking about a bottom lane gank, by the way, but we don't have Soraka, so questionable looking for this gank right now, I would say. Set, though, in top lane, overstays a little bit. He did get the tower, though, which is good, but, yeah, he goes down. Thinking about the gank, but badly timed, so there's too many minions. Maybe a bit of damage would have been good on this Fortune, obviously. Lulu's not a healing support as such, so it would have been okay to do, but I didn't want to fully commit to that because you never know. We don't know where the mid lane or anything is. So Diana actually looking for the engage. She actually will grab that. I flash Cocoon, get the Misfortune. I'm going to continue for it. Do get the kill on her, which is nice. Diana might continue going for the Lulu. Twisted Fate ultimate coming down bot lane to save the Lulu. And that's good. Again, Twisted Fate ultimate, generally want to use it aggressively, not completely defensively. So only getting, like, him just ulting to stop a Lulu dying is much better than him ulting getting a double kill. So I'm like, Diana, can we pull this out? And then she just doesn't. Yeah, this is the weirdness of, like, why isn't she allowing me to pull the dragon out? I'd like to pull it out, so if Shaco did queue over, he has more distance to travel, but she had none of it and just didn't want me to do that, apparently. But we will get the dragon, so getting the dragon's good. Set obviously lost his tower to the massively skilled thing that is Rift Herald. I still don't like that mechanic. To me, it just feels anti-skill. They're like, the Set winning top lane. He actually got the Darius tower really early on. That's amazing. And then one gank by Shaco, and then just pressing Rift Herald. Oh, his tower's dead. That just doesn't feel great. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever enjoy Rift Herald, to be honest. Gonna continue farming. This is, I'd say, one of the biggest skills of jungle, is obviously the balance act between farming and ganking. That's always going to be the balance act between the two things of jungling. Meanwhile, we're going to go for a play. Set obviously roaming. Hasn't managed to find the target he wanted to. I think he was looking for Lulu or Twisted Fate there, but he won't get it. I'm in the area, though. I'm going to look for a Cocoon. Do land it, get the Shaco, and then the instant with the silence and just the Cocoon stun, we actually kill the Shaco, get a nice shutdown for the Diana. So that's quite good. So I'm going to back off. Continue the farm because, you know, I'm quite conscious that I want to continue getting XP. And unfortunately for me, yep, my jungle has been stolen, which isn't too surprising. Again, that is one of the biggest things in jungling right now with the XP differences. One jungler is going to get ahead in XP, one jungler is going to be behind. You can even further the XP lead even more if you're just directly taking your, you know, it's one thing for one jungler to get neutral camps. So if both junglers get, I'm going to get all my camps, the other jungler's going to get all their camps, and the only difference is the neutral camps. There'll be a slight XP difference, but there's a huge XP difference if then you're even counter-jungling and stealing the enemy's camps. Because this game, it's not been going amazing for us. Do I have the confidence to invade the enemy team's jungle to steal the Shakos? Not really, not as an Elise. The Shaco, he's doing okay with it because, again, he's got quite a lot of mobility. He's got his Q that he can just disappear. So he's got a little bit more confidence to actually invade and go for these jungle steals than I do right now. And obviously that's going to hurt me a lot when it comes to the XP game, the XP war of the jungle. So he's level 10 already. I'm halfway there. So I'm pinging, obviously, Dragon. I'm just letting my team know my intentions of, I'm a Dragon jungle player. I want the Dragons. And that's still true to this day. I think dragons are still incredibly strong. A lot of the time, it's where the turning point to games can happen. It's obviously you're getting buffs that the enemy team just simply can't get. Meanwhile, Diana does actually kill the Misfortune, which is lovely. So the Diana's turning the game around. Obviously, as I said earlier, she arguably is one of those players that has that one play style. They're going to keep doing it, and this game it just didn't work. That the jungler kind of spotted that you're overextending a lot, I can gank you, and the Diana just didn't react to it. It's that simple. She just didn't react to it, didn't put vision down, played still really aggressive, and got punished. But as we're moving away from lane phase, it's actually going okay. So Shaco now level 11 after getting that solo kill on Diana. I'm just thinking of just like clearing the wave a little bit here. And was actually thinking kind of fighting him, but my team pinging me away is like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't. But what you guys can't see right now is my bot lane is coming. So he's actually gone Stride Breaker Shaco. Obviously, I know which one is the correct Shaco because I cocooned it. I will pick up the kill. He's ignited me, but with having my team nearby, yeah, I'll survive. The only reason that I pathed the way I did, by the way, there, I was 100% baiting the Shaco. That was intentional of like, oh, I can position and Shaco might go on me. But again, you guys can't see it because I got the mini-map block on, but my team was running bot lane. So I was like, oh, I do have Soraka heal and all that stuff, so I should be able to survive this and Shaco should die. So we're thinking of going for maybe a play here. The Misfortune, I don't know what she's doing. Completely alone with the Cocoon. She actually heals, by the way, but I out-damaged the heal. Arguable that she shouldn't have done that. And this is where momentum is now turning in our favor. The enemy team is playing arguably way too solo is the way that I would kind of deem it. They're playing as individuals. Usually the team that plays together is going to win the game. And, you know, now we're working quite well together. Unfortunately, the Set, having such a good early game, has now died. So Darius is still a scary champion, even if, you know, he hasn't had an insane early game. That champion still has many ways of getting back into a game, and he's got true damage, he's got bleed damage, he's got healing. He's a strong champion. Very strong champion. So, you know, it's not too surprising to me that Set died there. It's unfortunate because the Set's done pretty well. But yeah, it's Darius. It's just the way that champion is sometimes. But I would say, everybody, if you are enjoying this, do throw a like on it just to remind everybody. You can just do it right now in a bit of downtime if you want to. And yeah, hopefully you're enjoying these POV commentaries. We are going to definitely do more of them with you guys enjoying them. And obviously intermingle them, really, with the live commentaries. So you're still getting a live commentary most days of the week. For example, this is today's second video. I'm actually, you know, I recorded this game last night. I'm recording this at, what time is it? It is 20 past 5 on the day that it's coming out. So this video will be out at midnight tonight, and I'm recording it, again, because I've already played the game, there's not much pressure. So you can see the enemy team is looking aggressive. They actually have Darius here already. I'd like if Darius was here already by now. I'm polymorphed, I've got thingy, but I will make my way out. But unfortunately for us, really bad by, what was that, Diana and Soraka. They got caught. Completely caught. Darius, though, is in the area, and this is one of the disadvantages so far, that Darius was ready for the fight, and he's around, and our Set was in top. I think Set arguably should have been here already, but also it's not Set's fault that the Diana and the Soraka got caught together. Obviously, I got caught in the bush. So yeah, yes, I think it would have been good if Set was in the round. You can see the enemy team is a bit hesitant to do this dragon. They see, oh, Elise is in the area. Let's go for the Elise, because they want it. I'm the jungler, right? I've got smite, so if I can get to the dragon, I can get the dragon. But the enemy team is obviously just like, nope, and I'm not going to die for nothing. So unfortunately, the enemy team get Infernal. But yeah, Darius, that champion, you know, did get owned in the early game, but he's a reset champion. He's got his big heal Q, so yeah. But I'll say really bad fight for us, which is true. Pointing out the obvious me. Going to continue a bit more farming though, just maintaining as much XP as I can in, you know, with relative reason. I'm still going to take this red buff though. Obviously, red buff for your AD carry is generally the thing you want to do in more late game, or even mid to late game. But because I still feel like I want some XP, I'm going to still take the red. The thing with this game, though, you'll see it progress throughout. Grouping is our best friend in this game. Now, there are positives and negatives to that. There's some people like, really? So the enemy team do have a misfortune, and generally, a misfortune is quite scary when it comes to grouping. Meanwhile, Diana, again, very aggressive playstyle. You know, she hasn't had the best game, and she just straight up died to the Shaco. I'm going to look to try and kill the Shaco myself, which is going to happen, and I will get it, but now I have a Darius ghosting after me. What you guys can't see is, yeah, my team is just turning up to my right, but this Darius, again, he's now very strong. He has a Lulu now behind him, and I don't give him the reset, which is good, but he now has his passive up, and now the Twisted Fate's in the area. Meanwhile, our Set was looking for a misfortune. So yeah, as I was mentioning, grouping is our best friend in this game. What beats Darius? Chain CCing, picking him. What counters Shaco? Grouping. The Set, I don't know if it's said on Professor, but he seemed the type that wanted just to split push. Set is a really good teamfight champ, especially when the enemy team gets arguably countered a lot by grouping. Two of their champs get a lot worse in teamfights. And obviously that's not to say that Darius will do terrible in teamfights. If he gets his passive off, he gets the reset going. Yeah, he's scary, but you have more CC options when you're as 5 people, and that is what hurts a Darius. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, we want a group here. We even, you know, a good Diana ultimate is really good for grouping. No idea what this Caitlyn, by the way, was doing. Completely out of position. No idea. Like that, there was no reason for her to be there. And yes, Darius is now legendary. Set also has overextended. So we now have had a Caitlyn that's mispositioned. And we have a Set that did get a solo kill. So that's good. He got a recovery kill. 1 for 1 in that situation, but still dying. I'd rather my team like stop dying, because that how a lot of the time when a game is going okay and the game feels relatively neutral, which this game has, it hasn't felt for a long time that either team is really winning. What generally happens is one team kind of starts doing mistakes, and then the deaths start rolling in, and then the snowball rolls in, and boom, the game's over. It sucks. So yeah, to fix this game, we just need to slow down the game again, fix the weird positional mistakes that are going on, which in theory isn't that hard. It just means a Caitlyn can't go mid by herself on 2 or 3 people. Like, that shouldn't be hard to fix. But yeah, Diana's now top lane, looking maybe for a cocoon here or there. Don't know if the enemy team has vision. Maybe I should have used the trinket just to check. And once again, the Darius is looking for a kill. So the Darius is feeling very confident now. He's taken over pretty much the mid game. I think we could argue that. I missed the cocoon, which that's bad from me. Missed the cocoon. Darius is going to flash though. We're going to try our best to survive. He is going to chase the Diana. Diana's doing her best to survive. He will get the reset though. So Darius has got his ult reset, which obviously means he's quite scary. And once again, the set's bot lane. So we need the set. Like, I am convinced right now that, you know, I think most of us could probably agree, even watching this back. Right now, it's just top laners who are taking over the game. Darius is taking over this game, and Set is not doing anything or not doing enough to stop it. When Set himself, in a grouping situation, is really good at dealing with the Darius. Set can jump the Darius away with his ultimate. He can CC the Darius, and he can help us kill the Darius. So for me, there is no good reason that the Set's split pushing when the Darius is grouping and taking over the game. Like, maybe if the Darius was also splitting, and like, okay, Sets versus Darius in bot lane, have at it, you know, fight. But the Darius is grouping. So because the Darius is grouping, to me, 100% the Set should be grouping. Meanwhile, I think you just noticed, by the way, Sanguine Blade for Shaco. I have never rated that item in, again, a game in my mind, and this is where sometimes, I guess, difference of opinions. I'm like, grouping here is the way of winning this game. Meanwhile, Shaco goes for a random pick. And by the way, that's a random pick when we're nearby. But yeah, Sanguine is strong for going for these like individual little picks. It's a 1v1 item, obviously. It's a, you know, it's all about winning the 1v1. So Dragon is coming, and I'm like, Shaco is still behind us. I am convinced these two are right, by the way. And what I see, I spot him, go for him, and boom, get the kill on him before the Dragon. Boom, that's a straight away an advantage to us. One, obviously, jungler's alive. Enemy team now looking to engage. And remember, this is the first big team fight we have with Set involved. Darius has been taking over. And look, Darius is chain CC'd. Funny that. Diana actually takes out the enemy bot lane by herself, which is great for her. But there, the whole problem of Darius has now been turned because Set's now here. Because Set can E him. Oh, that stops Darius. Oh, Set's going to ult him. Oh, that stops Darius. And also, having all this extra CC, it also enables me to hit an easy cocoon. You can't stop, like, more CC enables other CC sometimes. So straight up, kill the Shaco, kill the enemy team, got the Dragon, and boom, we're going on the Baron. So just one play straight away just goes, there you go. Like, I was internally, because obviously I wasn't commentating this game, I wasn't on mic, I wasn't on camera. I was literally like, I hope my Twitch chat know, like, grouping just wins us this game. Which I will say, I know I'm biased as a player in one big area. I prefer grouping. I'm not a big fan of split push to win. I will say that right now, and I know I'm biased against it. And that's just personal opinion. You know, it's just the playstyle that I have found wins at games the most and the easiest is not split pushing. Because split pushing in solo queue, of anybody, if it's you or any of your teammates, it requires coordination, and I've always just had those situations. If I'm split pushing, my team gets caught when I'm split pushing, or my top laner gets caught 2v1 and we haven't had pressure or haven't had enough pressure for it to warrant him split pushing at where he is. He's too deep. It just complicates solo queue so much. So that's where I just build a comp to teamfight. Like, more often than not, I think it's going to help you win games. And, you know, I'm not just saying it in this game. Like, I genuinely think just based on comp, grouping just wins us the game. Meanwhile, Set, by the way, obviously he's back in top lane. And, you know, sometimes it does also happen that you just won an incredible team fight, and then weirdly people go back to split pushing. You're like, we just won the team fight, it went really well, and you're going back to split pushing. Like, I don't get it. It's just sometimes weird. So Darius is looking for this big engage. Set does go for an early TP. And by the way, if you look at the back, Shaco one shot, well not one shot, but she killed the Soraka, and the Soraka just didn't notice. So I guess the Soraka was watching something else, because she had ult, she had barrier, she had flash, and she didn't use any of it. So obviously that's kind of a big bummer. So yeah, and you can see here the Set in chat is being a bit salty or whatever, going like, oh, we take Baron and we're just grouping mid. Yes! Why wouldn't we? We just won the 5v5. Clearly this game showed already that we should just be 5v5ing. This Set was weirding me out a little bit, but I don't know. Again, it's just difference of opinion, but again, is it really difference of opinion when clearly one way is actually helping us win the game more? I don't know, it's weird. So I am, by the way, just thinking Shaco might look for another pick. especially on the Caitlyn. So I was just kind of in the background, and there he is. It sometimes becomes a little bit obvious what the Shaco's going to do, and that's also one weird thing to say. There are some assassin-y pick champions that are supposed to be like, oh, I'm really stealthy, and the enemy team don't know what I'm doing, but in doing that also makes them quite predictable. Isn't that weird? Like Fiddlesticks, he's supposed to do this big surprise ultimate, but in mid to late game, you know Fiddlesticks is going to be looking for a surprise ultimate. Now here's a big fight coming. Diana just absolutely wrecks them, and there you go. Team fighting straight away. Like, ta-da! Like, it's not rocket science. Like, Diana ultimate is huge. The enemy bot lane has struggled this game, so Diana can one-shot them. Darius can't do as much in grouping too, so thumbs up from me to grouping. I don't know, it's just weird. And again, it counters Shaco. Don't know what he was doing. He get caught, get a heal, get a shut down. Really nice, 850. First death, by the way, for Twisted Fate. So nice pick there. That was just Twisted Fate. Arguably, maybe he was typing when he was running and didn't cancel his walking animation quick enough. I don't know, or paying attention. Who knows? But that was a really nice pick, and I think after this we're going to decide to back away. But as I was mentioning, like, grouping counters Shaco quite hard, especially when he buys the 1v1 item. Like, the 1v1, like, don't get me wrong, the base stats are sanguine. They're not terrible, but they're not incredible either. Meanwhile, we're like, we should go for this. Enemy team had vision. So, well, either they had vision or they are indeed ghosting. So Darius doesn't get the reset, by the way, so that's really bad for him. Sets over to the side to the left here, and I'm gonna go help him. I think Shaco is relatively like out of the fight, so I'm like, I could just continue fighting the Darius. He does still obviously a passive up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait, and dude, I'm Houdini or something. I have no idea how he survived. We're now just, you know, this team fight is just kind of going really well for us. 2 deaths for the enemy team. We all survive. And there we go. I think I should have died then. I think most people would have probably agreed. Diana going to go aggressive, does get the misfortune. She's dominating. And now we're going to push in with those super minions. And I think that's game. So overall, it turned into a good game. I was very happy with how I played. We went 8-3-6. I think that's the end score. We might get one more assist to see what happens. But I was very happy with how I played. Just a good Elise game. And, you know, it was me pinging, please group set. And if the set had his way, I am convinced he'd still be in a side lane. And Darius would have continued taking over the game. But me constantly like, yo, group, pinging him and stuff. Yes, in chat you can see he was a bit annoyed that he had to group. But that won us the game. Completely. Like, I really do think it helped. So I'm going to give the Diana actually staying cool. Because remember, the Diana in this game was 0-4. She actually had a really bad game in the early game. But she maintained playing. You know, some people who go 0-4 would rage quit a game. She maintained. She did okay. Damage-wise, doing fine. Around the same level as Shaco and the Twisted Fate. But overall, just a good game. What I'd call this is a nice game of Elise. I wasn't the MVP this game. I wasn't the playmaker, but I was the one that was like, hey, please group. So you could call me like the decision maker, and it worked. We won. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, you can see me typing in the chat down there, just to my Twitch, if you want to hear some of my thoughts that I've had. But there we go. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a subscribe, comment down below. See you guys next time. Peace.